What if I told you that one of America's greatest war heroes didn't even want to fight in the first place? Alvin C. York was not born into greatness. He was born into poverty, deep in the Tennessee mountains. He was a farmer, a hunter, and a man who lived quietly off the land. Most people who knew him never imagined his name would echo through history. York was deeply religious, guided by a strict belief that taking a life was against God's will. When America entered World War I, Alvin York was drafted, just like countless young men. But York resisted. He argued that his faith would not allow him to kill. The army, however, had no room for hesitation. After long talks with his commanders and his own pastor, York reluctantly agreed to serve. But even then, his heart was conflicted. He prayed every day, asking for guidance. He wanted to do his duty, but he did not want to betray his conscience. And then came October 1918. The Meuse-Argonne offensive was raging, one of the largest and bloodiest battles of the entire war. American forces were being shredded by German machine gun fire hidden deep in the forest. Alvin York's unit of 17 men was ordered to silence those guns. What followed would become one of the most extraordinary moments in military history. As soon as they advanced, chaos broke loose. Bullets cut through the trees like lightning. Men screamed, men fell, and the mission seemed doomed. 9 of York's comrades were immediately killed. The rest scattered, wounded, terrified, but York did not break. Something inside him, whether fate, faith, or sheer survival, took over. Armed with only his rifle and pistol, he charged forward alone. He moved like a hunter in the Tennessee woods, every step precise, every shot deliberate. German soldiers fired from all sides, but York dropped them one by one. He never missed. When a group of 6 Germans rushed him with bayonets, York stood his ground. He shot them all before they reached him. Machine guns rattled, but York kept moving closer. With deadly accuracy, he picked off gunners from hundreds of yards away. The battlefield fell eerily quiet around him. The Germans could not believe one man was doing this, but he was. And then came the most unbelievable part. A German officer, realizing York would not stop, finally surrendered. York ordered him to call his men out of their trenches. One by one, German soldiers began laying down their weapons. Dozens of them, then hundreds. By the end, Alvin York had captured 132 enemy soldiers, practically by himself. It was one of the most incredible feats of courage in the entire war. When he returned with his prisoners, his fellow soldiers could not believe what they were seeing. A single American, leading more than 100 Germans, calmly marching them back to camp. The officers were stunned. Reporters later called it the stuff of legend. The United States awarded York the Medal of Honor. France gave him the Croix de Guerre. He became a hero overnight. Parades were thrown in his honor. Newspapers across America printed his story. Hollywood would one day make a movie about him. But the most remarkable thing about Alvin York was not his fame. It was his humility. When asked how he managed to do it, he simply said, "It was God's will." He did not brag. He did not see himself as a killer. He saw himself as a man who saved lives by ending the battle. Back in Tennessee, he returned to farming. He built schools, helped his community, and never sought glory. The reluctant soldier remained a humble man until the end of his life. And yet, his story continues to inspire generations. Because Alvin York proved that even the most unlikely people, even a poor farmer from the mountains, can rise to greatness when history demands it. He was not just a soldier, he was a symbol of courage, faith, and destiny. And his legacy lives on as one of the greatest heroes America has ever known. So tell me, Do you think Alvin York was chosen by destiny, or was it pure chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more untold stories of history.